So up next, the founder of Adaptive Golfers, bringing the game of golf to all abilities, Gianna Rojas. Welcome back to the stage. Let's give Gianna a warm welcome, shall we? So I love this. You got all kinds of adaptations for the different groups that you are a supporter and advocate of.
Take a deep breath and start reading.
Adaptive Golf Hers. Yeah. So a nice little play on words there. I'll let you take it from here.
Yep. Well, hi everyone. Welcome. My name is Gianna Rojas. I am known globally as a world-ranked golfer with a disability. I'm known as a one-handed lady golfer. If your curiosity gets the best of you, you can certainly Google one-handed lady golfer anytime. Well, I run a nonprofit called Adaptive Golfers. And our purpose here today and at this wonderful show that we have going on here is to help introduce another perspective of golf. Maybe you have that friend or that family member, or maybe even in yourself, that may have some sort of challenges that in your mind you may not be able to visualize that there is another way to play golf. We work extensively with people after surviving stroke. We work with people after amputation from an injury or an illness. And what we do is we try to find what that person's abilities are, what their motivations are, and what their expectations are. And then once we take that little bit of, I guess call it a little bit of an assessment, we start talking about what that person's ability is. Is it something where we're having a problem maybe with arthritis from age, and I can no longer grip my club? So we have resources where we can fit you with all different types of gloves, with different types of wraps, with different kinds of grips that have Velcro that will help you hang on to that club a little more. And also, if there's challenges with mobility challenges, there are things that are called solo rider carts, if you haven't seen any of them out there yet. There are some that are solo rider carts where the seat swivels around and tilts you out, and you're able to take your shot. These carts are manufactured so that they can go up onto the green. I know a lot of people are very, no, we don't go up on the green. But they are manufactured with their not weighing not much more than the mowers would weigh. So many golf courses are starting to obtain these golf carts, but there's still a lot of work to be done still. We still have a lot of education. Now, one of the things that I enjoy doing the most, in addition to talking about adaptive golf, is I'm also a player. The USGA and the RNA has started a world ranking for golfers with disabilities. So for those of you who may be challenged and think your golf career is no more, there's a whole competitive pathway that, as Chantel mentioned earlier, that the USGA just held its very first adaptive golf championship. It was an amateur championship, so there was not a purse involved, but maybe we'll change that after speaking a few more times. But this event was an all disabilities event. There were people that had multiple limbs missing. There are prosthetics companies out there that will make prosthetics for golfers. There were a lot of seated golfers. We had, I think we had actually 18 women out of the 96 field. I aim to change that. So I'm working very closely with the LPGA to start a campaign to invite women, also those that have challenges. It's called Adaptive Golf Hers. And Adaptive Golf Hers is going to speak the women's language to really try to make sure that women know that they are invited and they are welcome. And if we can help with any kind of resource, match people up with any kind of clinic, kind of think of me as like your concierge. I can help marry those services that you may need. And then in addition, we are now trying to educate the industry because, to be honest, we still don't have an industry ready to receive us and to serve us. So we're now writing the Adaptive Golf Player Development Program for any of those out there who are teaching professionals or are involved at the golf course, whether it be the front of the house, the back of the house, on course, off course. We can help educate you to help make that course more accessible. And also we can help your staff understand the value that people with disabilities can bring to your golf course. Now, think about your memberships that a lot of times people that have aged and they think maybe they've aged out of the game. They have bad back or they've got weak knees, or like myself, this is the least of my worries. We have 2 total knee replacements, a new hip replacement. I got scoliosis in my back, dislocated this elbow, this shoulder, broke this nose, broke my hand out here, and then also ripped the ligaments in my thumb doing a demonstration for golf at a corporate event, and I hit the outside of the mat and ripped the ligaments in my thumb. So, like I said, this is kind of the least of my worries. So, sometimes I know the not being able to visualize that there's any other way than the way that you have played golf as a golfer throughout your life. We really are looking for the opportunities, as I mentioned earlier in our speaking, for exposure to help people understand that it doesn't matter what your challenge is. See, they like it back there. It doesn't matter what your challenge is. If you want to play golf, there's a way to get you back out there. And there's no reason why you have to do it in any different than maybe just changing your swing style, maybe changing some of your equipment. Here's the one thing that we do. Some of the things we do, we don't have the room to do it here, but when we go to the PGA show, we invite people to come into a simulator. We have them take their normal golf shot, they look at their numbers, and then I'm going to challenge them to hit our way. So I can tell you I've had a lot of people look at me and go, I can't do that. Well, what happens if you're standing over a ball and I blindfold you and I ask you to listen to my voice and what the instructions are that I'm saying, and we set you up? You'll hit your golf ball, and I'm telling you, the numbers won't be that different. You're just going to approach it at a different way. You're going to listen to the instructions. We work a lot of times with individuals who have cognitive challenges, who are very visual learners. And what we do is we make sure that any of the instructions that we have are very simple, maybe just 3 instructions to work on for that time. We'll go into maybe a classroom or maybe a senior home. We'll clear out the dining area or whatever room we have, and we'll set up a little hitting mat, or we'll set up little blue painter tape, put a box here, put a chair there, just for something that people can maneuver around. And we just go have fun. So golf could be anything that you want it to be. And it's a game that you can play a lifetime and under any conditions. Just to give you a little perspective also, I probably should have started with this, but we'll finish with this. There are 61 million individuals in the US that are classified with a disability. Out of that, there are 36 million women with disabilities out of that number. And some of the studies that have been done has been said that there are 35% golfers that want to get back to golf after an injury or an accident or a disease. And out of that, 10% of them may want to get into the competition side. Now, if you do the math, we're still talking about an extreme amount of value that these people can bring to golf courses around the country. So I want to thank you very much for your time. I am in booth 709 for the rest of the week here. If there is any questions or anybody wants to come by and take a look at some of the different options there are for gripping or gloves, please come and visit me. And if you'd like to come by and just come and talk a little bit about either your challenge or someone else's, maybe we can come up with a solution together for you. You can find me at adaptivegolfers.org on the internet, or you can certainly reach out to me, my personal email at gianna@adaptivegolfers.org. I want to thank you all very much for allowing me to share a little bit different perspective with you. And if you have any questions, come by and see me.
Gianna, I learned something new tonight. So they're starting to handicap adaptive golfers. That is so cool. It must be a real challenge to put everybody on the same pace.
And sometimes it really isn't. It's just helping that person visualize, getting into a different space. I mean, when we work with clinics, we have people with all kinds of things all at the same time, and we just one-on-one and see what's going to work. It's a lot of trial and error.
But to make it fair for the USGA to have a handicap in a ranking system,
Yes.
that is a big task.
Yes. And well, there is modified rules for golfers with disabilities when you're coming into a tournament, or an outing or something like this, where it is a competition. There are some modifications, but for the most part, they're extremely doable.
Very cool. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank
I'm coming
you.
over to your booth because I get a million more questions.
Come play with the toys. Bye.
Gianna, thank you so much.